awarifo angwatizasi etutana bwa meta yola za lubaratini ribedo la premium ve marusi fete Manuel ama mesunga ejonde madri kulukuludi rakaka
ejud kulukuludi ma alia bafe embata dileka nebia didri angu ezoza madri yaram amuti gamete mapala kodi oto otita azingaza onyerure madri yaram ba emba dileka moyo adi atotwa kilili rure seram ama mesuki ejonde madriarim
Andro Simbodweri Kaldnyaro Mbamdunyalo Iliel Free Kalduni Sui ama mesu ejonde imadriatriare bafe embata dileka nebia didri ango ezoza madriaram amuti gamete mapala ko omvele NGOs rodi traro lezo giriko ezuzu ango ezoza otuzu ango nebinirma alia ani amuti di traro dileka ntondo nebi district yadi initozo embata zisuzu ango ezoza madriaram ama mesuki oruko tinir madriare ngazo orako Benson Pastorevo
amuti onvele endioru gamete mapala kodi o kalamvo ivude ma alia tualu titabe engazo West Nile Regional Civil Society Network vo de amuti gamete mapala kodi ledi traro lezo agbatara gbazo de ango nebi municipality nirma alia agbatara de ma alia deleka ntondo emuki lezo opofezo enyati ntondo de ivom deleka engazo amuti Westnet nirma aliam yokini asisile yevo angririm eri embata fezo enyati ndondo didrim azini obidri opofezo initozo patozo yesim Oringi Moses ovopi program manager West Nile Regional Civil Society Network nirim mudle jozokini le enyati woro ma ovo ozazarum Muswa David Pejawoko ovopi District Commercial Officer di Nebi District Local Government yarim mudle jozokini agbatara lerne obi mamulenzim azini dileka ndondo dibe yinitozo girikondazo ojata ejizo enyati malia benim.
If you look at lead has been, the concept has been for long now. Lead was introduced around 2014. Generally to boost local investors and local businesses, local investment. But over the years, many people seem not to understand what lead is, including some of the technical people that we thought could have know the concept very well. And so many people, if you ask locally what is lead, they cannot even tell you what lead is. So today's engagement was basically to popularize the lead concept or the lead policy so that we get to know what is the lead that it came in existence some time back. What are the successes that lead has registered? Could there have been some challenges that lead has also faced so that we reflect and we come up with the strategies to moving forward? How should have the policy look like? One of the strategies that can broaden lead concept or lead policy could be issues of philanthropic development, where people can give in locally. It's also in a way promotes local ownership. The giving cannot only be giving cash, it can be giving your skill or giving your time. Whatever resource you give, that is already giving locally, which is a concept of P4D or philanthropy for development.
Gazrima alia Nigel Collins OVP General Manager Nebi Wakaz Sako na aliarim mudle jozokini inga mudle opofezo enyati ndondo devum etedi ejobini isu orodiro amuti ledima alia de ram.
This engagement, I think, as I've already mentioned, is going to open up the minds and eyes of these key stakeholders to appreciate that some of the things that we have been doing are actually lead oriented. They are investments, whether public or private, they are lead oriented, because the focus of lead is actually economic empowerment, both at household level and also at the public stratas. The households, once empowered, are able to make a lot of contribution. The consumption power, purchasing power parity will increase, and once the business community are able to turn over their stock, their margin and surpluses will increase, and their capacity to contribute to the revenue baskets of the district. What we are trying to appreciate is all our planning should now address the question of what is the empowerment we are going to get out of this kind of intervention at district level, at sub-county level, even at a household level. So I think this is one area where we need to, this meeting, this kind of engagement.
Muluta Mogaga ovopi Andrew County nebi district yari a ide dile kandondo di muzu dile eni ro etozo odukoti etezo obima azakozo azini hinitozo bandondo di ijizu atita fezo idrinde benim.
In terms of the local economic development, our contribution, we have empowered the community. We give loans to these workers in terms for them to make investments. We have really contributed so much to their part of to their investment, and to make sure that as they do investments in these areas, what is their priority? How do they manage these investments so that they are empowered economically? Right now we have so far funded, for the last 14 years, we have so far funded about 2,800 workers in terms of development and investments, and these people have really gotten a very good returns on these investments.
Gamete elelerwari ma olonyi ondaza da ejindere de otita esele aziazuruma alia de lezo gamete ezizo pere obevo akuiseliasim lezo tuzarama ongbo tuzu azini aliodrozo kari Uganda niruma aliam asisuleni angireri eri odzata ezizo obe meselia tuni obe alioninde nyanya rodi Drippy West Nile TV nire orako Benson Pastore pitu alofete Manuel Be ekyo LAZA Dream.
Amitia matile ekyo LAZA Be amuti gamete mapala kodi oto otita azingaza onyerori madriyaram amuti tuni omvele ogarabatisi egirialia CCS ozrodi otoe lezo embata esuzu di kiriko bane etozu azingazo onyeroresem de ango ezoza otuza madriam azinevini azingaza kiliri madriende amamesuki odukotiniri madriare
amuti gamete mapala ko ango Uganda mawoko tuni dezuruma aliadi adi diria angere lezo gamete ni orozo azingaza onyiro ofuzo dileka ndondo dipima eseliam eyodirimu sawa bani dozo ngurungurua rezo dileka ndondo dipima eselia detuni azingaba gametia azine gamete elelerwa dima eselia resim ani amuti gamete mapala ko omvele Civil Society Organization rodi imu lezo ejo ledi ma azakozum tuni lezo gamete ma aziba etezo ejo ima asi nyobadi ma aliyam otitandere ma alia ba ejo nzebadi nze ejo dinelem.
We build up a strong team that we understand among all of us. Without dispute, without negligence, I believe these gaps that we are seeing can be bridged, and we will get moving on well.
Talking about the relationship of the local government and the CSOs working together, I think it's a very beautiful thing. It's necessary to build a trusting relationship by having planning meetings together with the local government. They need to understand what the CSOs are doing, and keeping the communication open with the local government necessary, because we are coming to supplement the work of the local government.
egazir matia okelo Stephen ovupi karanero amuti National Bureau of Non-Government Organization nirma aliam arakala Internal Affairs nirma aliari mudle jozokini otita dani amuti dimatinzi zuri ere onyiroto okelo mudle jozokini gamete azine batita feba gamete nidi le ma edi ango ezoza tualom.
When you look within the East African region and even Africa as a whole, almost all countries have an apex body for the NGOs that are operating there. Even the East African protocols require that every country must have an apex body for their NGOs, and Uganda currently yet does not have an apex body. So it's important that the NGOs in this country start to... it's very important that the government and the NGOs work closely together, because in Uganda as a country, we are all partners in the development of this country, and once they work together, it's for the good of the country. They are supposed to complement each other and support each other.
Denilem atamba tokoswa ebovopi ambu agetema ma ejo onepi Arua district ya aradisi rurim aidi injita de amutindondo gamete mapala kode pima eseliam azini tualu ma ati gamete ma utitandondo era azini manga azitualu gamete bem.
Government activities. When I say criticizing, I want to particularly refer to local governments. Take it in good faith, especially when you interface with these civil society organizations, and what they seem to be presenting to you appears more of criticism. Take them positively.
Amuti Uganda bani onvele apex bodies rudi chatasim private sector foundation le azini Uganda Hotel Owners Association azini Uganda National Renewable Energy azi ndondo di be ibiri ejo bada madle ngbone di madria atitsoni EDP West Nile TV ni refaris Majid Pitualu Fete Emmanuel be ejo LAZA Dream.
Ejo LAZA esele azirima alia ba emba dileka moyadi atotwa kililirure seram giriko bani aya ayozo bani omvele sefpal rodesi ba emba dileka moyadi ini etozu ejo ngaba enyatia onzi de tozu mbele kotiti aya ndade sim anitileka moyadi esu embata otita sefpal nere ma ayuza matriara ama mesuki odukotinire matriara ngazo atamva Dominic Okumovo.
Leka ntondo moyo district ya di esu embata azira di ejonze za maalia di tunim odukoti atotwa tozure maalia di district ndere maalia ba oto embata nere mbodu kaldini aziase mba muduni alo ili free kaldini susim di moyo people's holiam embata di roto piri ere arakala jendani azine leba azine soso development nere im tualu titabe ingazo dileka ntondo divo etaro kalafe angerenesi emuzu embata diri etsuzum detuni giriko ayama aliasi afombele software rodi sim ini etozu atozo di ejo atipi ongulumopima eselia onyiroko di madriyam ataza batio joy sovopi karanero di gender azini alata ma ejo nepi moyo district ma aliarim gamete elele rwari ma aliari mudle jozokinim embata diri eri imazako angereto azini anzi odeim agbarniri ejo anisi azitaro adi dizu ejo ledi bedi ebi adretoniyo ani aidi atita engazo obivo ini etozo edozo girikodiri ayozo azini embata fezo bandundu idri ende benem.
In the data you have seen how the young people are affected. We have the STI among the young people. HIV is an increase among the young people. And among the young people, the ones that spreads the infection is the female gender. Why is it so? Simply because there were no modalities of helping them out. There are cases that happen against them, But because they do not have the clear reporting path, they have been dying silently. And when they don't report, of course, you know what happens. The result and the impact is always negative.
Votere Joffrey o Vopi Enruru Kauru de Moyoma Aliare Mudle Jozokini Ibi Adresawa Ezo Bebiri Empatafe Nyatia Ko de Tunim Azo Ondrindre Anere Madria Ani Afanda Fede Azo Nderma Ongbo ni Edozo Tuzututum A Idi Dle Kandondo de Ini Edozo Empatafezo Azo Nder Madria Ongbo Angereni Sim.
Awareness has gone down, and it means that the issue of awareness is very key, and the issue of behavior change is very key, and which is not being addressed by also many partners. And this is also due to the dwindling number of partners involved in HIV. Clubs in the schools have gone down, they are not active. HIV clubs are not active. Groups that have been formed in the villages on HIV are not active. Is until we have World AIDS Day where people come.
Tolia Franco Vopi Enruru the commissioner Anzenyerema Ejo Onepi Arakala Zenda Leba Zinangwizo Zanerma Aliarim Mudle Jozokini Otita Sefpal Nerim Erotitazi o Nironim Bani Etozo Odukoti o Bima Eselialeri Edrizudle Benim Azenijo Inisu Warore Ma Azakozo Benim.
But how is the uptake? How are people demanding for these services? How are people taking opportunity of these services? Either directly by asking for services or referring people for the services which are nearby. So this system which we are going to learn is directly trying to come out to fill that gap. In terms of those areas you will talk about, HIV, AIDS, malaria, all those things. It's a broader one compared to other systems which may be specific, but this is really broader.
Oblejo Jimmy Vopi biostatistician Ro Moyare Mudlejo Zokenyanze o de Makalafe Azo Ondraneri Suzurim Ritu Angunderma Alia Tutum Vutiniaba Ambaye Asizude Ba Deba Body Ima Ongbo Edisi Elinda Dima Aliaram.
You can see the HIV new infection still very high in all the quotas among the age category between 20 to 35 to 34. That is the youths. So the infection rate among the youths in all the quotas is still very high, followed by the age category of 35, 49.
Real free kalirisi arakala zenda lebanim azina angwezo zanere imu utitazim lezo anzenyere kwa ima azakozo azino pofezo anzenyere pima alata madria rebem ani utitanderesim ba esunda ozata anze ima edma alia angeretum ministry jidi sadisi utita banombele sefpal reporting rodi lezo ngerengere anze maruari atrizom. EDP West Nile TV Nire Dominic Okumu Anthony Pitualo Feta Emmanuel Bem.
LAZA Mati Opizo Obitivadisi Dileka Nebiadi Etu Dile Agaitema Nereram Dile Agaitemani Anvele Aradisiru Nebi District Yari Dileka Ndondo di Pikierera Azingaza Onyerore Sem Amamesuki Odukotini Rengazo Atazataro Masivu.
Atamva President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni kari Uganda niro chepiri biandra ojata yodza azini otutafezu di dile ageitemani kari Uganda sirimalera azini veni marani rudi dri indim ani yorisi drileka nebi district niri enga imo duko azionyero di dile ageitemani nebia atamva Robert Abak nebi ngadisim di sisile belezu anyambolo dizo azinivini erima sisile baza eyo angwezo zanima eyo sindim eyo diriefu odidiarudo di sawa bani omuta azia wadi fofezani otule di Parombo Town Councillor nebi district yarisi di Lieutenant Abak Nansini otupiniri eribo oyoma di echozu awadi fofezu azio nyeru di drilia geitemani Abak niebingare sim atava Honorable Emmanuel Orombi ovupi ogwe nebi district niri tedi atamba Robert Abakni bazin tu dileniru azinivini azinga pingdoru ozizi akoko azinivini yua dasidileri di angu nebini malia di azinga inibisu tua nebiara dilekuni ing.
The family value. For you, you are an exceptional person, you come from very good background, and if others are messing up, let them see some light of the family from you. Uphold the family value. They have talked about your father. Me, I don't want to talk. I'll talk about him one day when he leaves Navy. I'm going to write a book about it. You know, I'm a writer also. I'll write something, some good script about when he leaves.
Atamva Salim Kumakech ovupi drilia geitemani arua sitiari fede opo di drileka West Nile di idri di erni ozukini leime titi eyo ageitemani si echozo eyo drifuba ku diledi ya trizo diangu West Nile nima aliam.
A lot of attachment to their mothers. As a girl, I can assure you, whisper to your mommy that Abak loves your mother. Because sometimes as men, when you are working outside home, you begin straying around, but your father is a focused husband.
Lieutenant Kano Nathan Biano Mugisha ovupi marani ru di Arakala Brigade Commander Sutokoro Minirmalia di angu West Nile Nirmalia vini mupi omwinzi lenziriruri fedia warifo azingazo nyiru inibinga idrile ageite maniribe di nebiarisi azini vini iniebizu azipamvu gametani di andrizu kililirurisi azini eyo ageitemani di angu West Nile ni malia resim.
To Nancy, baby, my daughter. Nancy, think you have seen a very agile and active officer, but put God first. Love God, especially love your dad. Your dad is your God on earth. If it was not him, you would not be here celebrating all these achievements. Please, it's not about speech, just love your dad. Robert is a special parent. They have talked good compliments on him. You must emulate your dad and tomorrow be bigger than others.
Kadiadri o tuta bani bizu dleka diyo tuzurisi Nancy Abak bo tuandreri di echazo second lieutenant ro azinivini di biovuirini achiazi zuirini pererini chazo aleni asawadi sing sitara bani orunderi enzizum. Ejipia midreo lazaniri Alfred Jawok Pichwalu Draro Masibem.
For midri angereto data diodukoti amani otu midri oduandruma aliam ejo lazama aliari tadela premium vemaru sifete Emmanuel medre midri lo titandundo West Nile TVA di ma nesabe.